You got some fans out there, Alex Earl. Welcome to The Tonight Show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You made a huge announcement today that you've been teasing for a while. Fans were hoping you'd release a skincare line.
Yes.
And you officially have.
I
Congratulations.
did. Thank you.
Real Actives right there. This is one of the bottles right there.
That's our cleanser?
That's your cleanser. Let's go back and talk about how this all started. This is 2019 is when you first started?
Yeah, 2019 I started on TikTok. I mean, no one cared about me, but I was on there for sure.
Yeah,
I was dancing during the COVID time. I had like,
Is that what you thought your move was going to be? Like
Well, I looked at like, the people like Charlie, she got out to LA. I was like, I can do that for sure. I was trying really hard to do the dances, breaking a sweat.
Charli D'Amelio,
Didn't get anywhere with that. And then honestly, I started posting about like my skin, my acne, my makeup, and the more I just started to be like candid on there, I'd be like, I'm doing an outfit video, I'd pick up my purse, there's like a cockroach under there, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I would just share those moments that might be like frowned upon at times, but it was real, so I shared
moments.
it.
Now you have 13 million followers. Congratulations,
Yes.
that's massive. But you were one of the originators of the Get Ready With Me videos. That was one of the biggest things. You were one of the OGs to do that. How did that start? Is it, again, the same thing? You're just like, let me just show you how I'm getting ready?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing live streams on TikTok, and they were getting more action than my regular videos I was posting were, so I just sort of made them into videos, and it was a lot of storytelling and like crazy college stories at the time, and sharing how I was gonna do my acne and cover my skin, and it just sort of like, I think it was the humility and it all in the storytelling. It's like my online diary.
Yeah, but then they created something called the Alex Earl effect. I don't know if you've heard this, but it's basically where you post about something and that would immediately sell out.
Yes.
It became the Alex Earl effect.
I guess.
When did you notice that was the thing? You're like, oops, like I just talked about that and now it's sold out.
So that was during my senior year of college. I was applying to jobs, and I had an Amazon storefront. That was how I was like making my money on the side. And my dad was like, what are you doing on social media? And I was like, just trust me, like I'm gonna make something work here. And I had this room in college with the cockroach. And I didn't have a window in my room, so it was dark in there, but I always wanted to like make these videos. So I was looking on Amazon for lights, and I found this light, I posted it, and it just like went very viral, and I was so confused. People were calling it the Alex Earl light. I've been stopped before, and people have been like, you're the lighting company. And I'm like, no.
No, I don't own it, no.
But yeah, so that was the first time for that.
We asked you if there was anything that in your drafts or your camera roll that you haven't posted out yet. And maybe you could show us some here on The Tonight Show, just between us friends. And we'd like to hear more about
a few people.
For this first one here, I just want to know the story. What is going on and what are you doing?
Well, this was a night out in Vegas with my friends, and we wanted to go incognito for the night. We were like, it'd be fun, let's wear wigs. And first of all, my friends told me I looked really good in this wig before we went out, and I'm not so sure that I did, especially after a night of, drinking
I
in
think
Vegas.
you do. I like it, this look.
Thank you.
Did you have a name for this character?
I didn't.
No.
She doesn't need a name. She doesn't need to be remembered, but here she is on The Tonight Show, whatever.
How about this one here?
This one is really just near and dear to my heart here.
Wowie.
This was after Halloween. I dressed up as the Cheshire Cat, and I was going for a very sexy costume there. It didn't really turn out as sexy as I had it in my head. And this is my sister at 5 in the morning, just ripping the prosthetics and the wig off of my face.
See?
I had this pink and purple on me for about 3 weeks. It wouldn't come off.
That's what family's for. Come on. Well, congrats. You go from these things to your own skincare line. Let's talk about this right here. This is a big deal. And it looks gorgeous. I love the packaging.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Real Actives. R-E-A-L-E, by the way.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that?
That was, I mean, it's a mumble jumble of my last name, Earl, you turn it around. But it was in college, my friends always made fun of me because a lot of, like, at the time when I was getting some traction on TikTok, people were like, she's so real, she's so real. And they were like, Alex, I mean, they're just saying anything you do is so real. So my friends would sort of mock me about it, and it became a thing. But it's something I always resonated with my content. I just thought, I'm being honest on there and being real, and it's something I would use with my personal brand. And then when I was sitting in my like childhood bedroom one day, and it was just on my notes app sort of like playing around with my name, and I knew I wanted to create a brand. And I,
This was when you were in high school? No.
Right after I graduated college. So August of 2023.
Yeah.
And I was just playing around with the word real in my last name, and I was like, oh, this would be a really cool name for a brand. And before I even knew what it was going to be.
Before you knew anything.
Yeah.
And you actually brought us a screenshot of your Notes app.
Yes.
From August 10th, 2023. There you go, you called it. Real.
Real.
That's what you wanted.
Write it down.
You manifested it. You made it happen. You manifested it. You did a cool thing online with like these kind of puzzle pieces because no one knew what you were doing. It was like, WTF is Alex Earle up to? And what is she doing? And we didn't know, and everyone was like, but then you, sent out like briefcases to like your friends?
You know, I was so scared about anyone, because everyone has big mouths. I mean, I have a big mouth, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just scared of anyone leaking this brand before it got out. So I didn't really even tell that many people besides like my very, very close circle. And I sent friends like puzzle pieces. It was a whole, you know, live, I guess, game for everyone to figure out what was going on and WTF is Alex doing. And it became like a little bit of a phenomenon the past 2 days.
And your friends were like, what do I do with this puzzle
I sent
piece?
them a puzzle piece in a locked suitcase. I was like, just post the puzzle piece, and like, I promise it's all gonna make sense soon. And they were like, can I not open this nice suitcase you sent me? Like, can I get in here?
But then everything became, every piece that was posted.
Yes, so we also had a billboard up in Soho where as people were posting the pieces, they were putting them up on the billboard, so you could kind of see it coming together in real time.
In real time. I loved it. And then here's you, the finished product right there.
Yes,
The finished billboard.
that was
Congratulations.
it. And I have a funny story, actually.
What's that?
So, you know, the brand posts, this is 2.5 years in the making. I'm so nervous. And I'm like, you know, I'm texting my team. I'm like, you know, we got to double check everything for the post. Like, don't mess it up. Like,
That's
you know,
a big deal.
this is our time. We're finally going. We have this brand video that we created. It was me in the water, whatever. It was this big thing. And I go to post it on TikTok today, and I'm ready for the announcement. I'm in my glam for this. I'm so excited. I post it. I put my phone down. I'm celebrating. I'm like, let's go. It's out there. It's live. And my CEO calls me, and she's like, Alex, like, you posted, and I guess it like suggested a song. She goes, you put a Cardi B audio over our launch video. And I'm like, what? And all of a sudden I pull up my TikTok, and it's me in the water, and it's like, it's me, hello, it's me. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow. Well,
and
go thank Cardi B right now.
know.
Hey, thanks for the promo, Cardi. She's on the show.
I was like, what are the odds of that?
What product here should I try? What would be good for me?
Ooh, I mean, I think this is really just a great one. This Mandelic Acid Serum. It's called
Acid?
Go Deep. Yeah, acid. So
wait.
spins like this.
Ooh, it's a cool
then-
top.
Yes, so you could, you know, pump it,
All right, what do I
try
do?
it for yourself.
Yeah, all right. So just right in my hand there and go for
Yeah.
it. All right, this is the.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
We have this one that's a little,
No scent to it.
this is like, it
Wait, what
shaves
is that
out.
thing?
This is a cleansing balm,
But
but
what do you turn it and it shaves?
it shaves out.
What?
And then
Wait,
it,
so the more you do it?
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it shaves out like this, and then you rub it together. It turns into like a, you know, oil-based makeup remover cleansing balm, and it's really, really great step
It
for
smells
double
fantastic.
cleansing.
I love this. Thank you so much for coming on. Congrats on everything. Now we have Alex Earle. Check out Real Actives, which will be available on March 31st. More Tonight Show after the break. Stick around, everybody.